Good Monday morning, Muscatine. I hope you had a great weekend and enjoyed the absolutely amazing weather. Got a couple of quick shout outs. The City of Muscatine Golf Championship was rounded up yesterday. Dylan Cooney won with a 68-72, 140. Beat out our own Scott Schultz, friend of the show, who had a 73-68. So it's like they had opposite days. Scott, just have two of your last day. You're there. Dylan, just have two of your first day. You lock it up. I have a feeling that the 17th and 18th were a lot of fun to watch. A couple of special shout outs. First one goes to this guy, Corey Midaga. Oh, wait. It's Corey Midaw. Corey Midaw. How are you, bud? Congratulations. Third in the men's open third flight. And then Bruce Lavasser took the senior division championship flight with a 76-71, 147. And I didn't see him at the Y this morning. I don't know if I missed him or if he was maybe, sleeping in, maybe worked a little too hard this weekend. I don't know how he could because he plays golf like every day. So it's not like it's any big change. And then Laura Custis Kramer took the ladies open division with a 102, 103, 205 total. So congratulations to all you guys. The Muskie softball team won Saturday night against Iowa City here in town, and so they will play tomorrow night, for a chance to go to state. And then the boys unfortunately lost to a really good Iowa City team 2-1. So that kind of wraps up sports for the weekend. Again, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, head down to Kent Stein, watch the girls, hopefully they get a win, and be off to state. It's not often that we get both games here in the regionals. So with that, it's a Megan Monday, but you'll notice Megan's not here. It's kind of weird. It's Megan Monday, no Megan, but I'll take Hillary and a Macy in place of a Megan. That totally works. So we've got Hillary from the United Way and Macy from the Salvation Army here to talk about Thanksgiving in July, which starts off, it kind of started off yesterday, kind of official, like for us workday people, it kicks off today. So if you guys could, real quick, introduce yourselves. I know most people probably know you, and then let's talk about Thanksgiving in July.
I'm Hillary Hankey. I'm the Community Engagement Manager with United Way of Muscatine.
And I'm Lieutenant A.C. Gantner. My husband and I are the administrators at the Salvation Army here in Muscatine.
So, Thanksgiving in July.
Yes.
It's almost like freezing for food, but not having to freeze.
Yeah, exactly.
I do the wrong one. Why? How did I get stuck with the freezing for food one?
I know, seriously.
You can help at Thanksgiving in July. Macy and
know,
Austin from MCSA are going to be out at Hy-Vee on Saturday morning. But Thanksgiving in July is something that we do, and it's been held in our community for several years because it's an effort to restock the food pantries in town. So the Salvation Army Food Pantry, MCSA's Food Pantry, and Senior Resources Food Pantry, oftentimes we see in July are needing a lot of more resources. And we have 4,871 people in Muscatine County that are food insecure every single day. So they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. So we want to work together as a community and request businesses, faith-based organizations, and civic organizations to come together and collect non-perishable food items so we can restock the pantry shelves and help those families in need in the summertime.
Yeah, we know like during Christmas time and during other off seasons, they're full, or like even more than full. I remember during Christmas time last year how much food we didn't even have room for. And if you look at things now, you'll see such a difference in what's there and how we can it shows us how much we can serve our community. If we have less, we can serve less in that way specifically.
Well, and that's one thing that I don't think that, I know we talk about it often, but food insecurity is something that is significantly more prevalent in Muscatine than I think is blatantly obvious, because it's not something that you see. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can look at someone and go, oh, how full is your pantry, right?
Yes.
And it's also something that, generally speaking, people don't run around advertising like, hey, I don't have food, or, it's something that they're going to find a way to, mask or cover up or, get a little help here and there. And it puts them in decisions of having to make, like, am I going to get food? Am I going to pay this bill or this bill?
Yeah.
And so what I love about what you guys have done is it's this cohesive, all-together effort
Absolutely.
to help solve the problem.
And I think that's the thing. No one agency can do it together. We all have to come together
Exactly.
to serve the community in the best way possible. And that's something that's great about Muscatine is it's not siloed. Everybody works together. The food rescue program, which is now housed out of MCSA, they collect food and bring it to the Salvation Army on a regular basis. So there's a lot of great work that's being done throughout the year. And thanks to our community partners, we can do that. But we really, really need help right now because, as Macy said, the shelves are more bare than they usually are. And hunger knows no season, and children need to eat, seniors need to eat, families need to eat, and a lot of these people are working and they just can't make ends meet, like we talked about before.
And the kids are getting food during the day, maybe if they're in a summer program, but what happens in the evening, you know? There's still need everywhere you look, and we have people coming through our doors. We schedule appointments, but we have people coming in for emergency food all the time. So even on days we don't have food pantry, and it's like, okay, let's get you something to get you through. But until your next time, you need to, you know, what do you do next time and next time?
Well, and it's one thing almost, I don't remember what cycle it's on, but like when the school district does theirs, the drive-up food pantry, you know, the line is always almost down to Mulberry from the district office. And it just shows that even with freezing for food, with that, with all the normal donations, with partnering with the food bank, there's still a need. And it shows how great it is. And I love that, you know, over the last handful of years, fill in a number, the organizations that handle this have gotten a lot tighter in how they work together, and it's great. Everybody still gets to do their lane, you know what I mean, but it all works together really, really well.
Absolutely.
So if somebody's at home and they're like, okay, yep, I'm gonna help, what do they need to do now? What can they do? Who all's involved? Who's got drop-off points?
Yeah, so we've got drop-off points at lots of different businesses in town. So you can collect non-perishable food items from your pantry and drop them off at Union Tank, Kraft Heinz, Crossroads, City Hall, Vineyard Church, Stanley Consultants, the Community Foundation, Unity Point Health, Hillcrest Baptist Church, the Kiwanis Club, Lutheran Living, Muscatine Sheriff's Office, Community Bank and Trust, both Cedar Street and the main branch out there by Hy-Vee, and United Way. You can drop off donations there. Or on Saturday, if you do your grocery shopping on Saturday, Hy-Vee's partnering with us again for the, I don't remember how many years, but for lots of years now. They're gonna have pre-packaged bags of food. So you're doing your grocery shopping Saturday, it's super easy. You can buy a bag of food for $20 and they already have it ready for you to go. You can donate it there. We're gonna have the Crossroads truck out there that day. We'll also accept cash donations. So Macy and Austin from MCSA will be out there to collect the food that you purchase and load it into the truck. They'll also collect cash donations that we can utilize to purchase more bags of food that day. So there's lots of ways you can help. We accept cash and food donations.
Well, and one thing I know that Matt and all the crew at Hy-Vee does is when this kind of thing comes up, they do a tremendous job of putting this bag together. It's not just like this random bag of stuff. Like and I don't know about this time, but I know in the past they always like check to see like what you guys need, what they can get great buys on, and you know, kind of leverage their buying power to help fill the, you know, to maximize what your donation actually gets.
Absolutely.
So I'd have to assume they did that again this time. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess
And
they did.
those shelf life things go a long way too. So, and I think that's what they did last year too when we received those bags. It was a lot of shelf life stuff. So that goes a long way for people and their homes and for on our shelves. So.
Okay, so what else do we need to know?
Saturday, 8 to 11:30. Come out to Hy-Vee, do your grocery shopping.
Come visit me.
Yeah, come see Macy, come see her smiling face, buy a bag of food and donate it there. Or if you're busy on Saturday during the week, drop off some non-perishable food items to any of those locations. Or if you prefer to donate cash, you can bring cash into United Way or any of the locations as well in order to make a cash donation, which then we can use to purchase food on Saturday.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb again for Hy-Vee. I'm gonna bet if you order online, you can add in your comments to add bags on, and they'll add it to your, that's what they did for freezing for food. I'm gonna bet if you order online, at least put a note in there, they'll call, they'll make it, I mean, they just handle that kind of stuff. So you don't have to go in. Again, I'm gonna guess, you know what, they're gonna do it. put that note in there, they'll find a way to do it.
They're great. They'll
They always
figure
do. They always do. If they have any questions, they'll call you. So basically, if you've got something at your home that you want to donate, definitely do that. If not, you can get a tremendous deal with the bags at Hy-Vee Saturday morning, and just get it to that laundry list of pretty much everywhere in town.
Yeah.
You can drop some food off.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
anything else we should know about it? I feel like,
I think that's the gist of it. I think it's just knowing that when you donate food, not only, 50% of the senior citizens in Muscatine struggle to meet their basic needs every month. So you're helping seniors, you're helping children. Children have a hard time focusing and concentrating if their bellies aren't full. We're in the middle of Spark right now. So if we want to make the most out of the summer school program, they need to have full bellies, not just during the day at school, but they need to be able to have breakfast in the morning and dinner in the evening. So please help if you can.
and while we're there, shout out to the school district food and nutrition team who does a tremendous job. They're kind of one of those unsung heroes of the community that you don't necessarily hear a lot about. But I know Ms. Eggers and her team, feed a bunch of kids all the time, but they maximize the national food programs. If you name it, if they can find a way to get food into this community, they're doing it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're
So-
amazing.
Make sure you find one of those drop-off points, contact us, contact any of them. We'll find a way to get it there.
Yes.
So with that, we'll check in with you guys throughout the week and see how it's going. But then we'll be right back after the break with Brenda Arthur-Miller from West Liberty Schools, because they've got like 3 huge awards, and one of them's hers. We'll see you in a minute.
Looking for a fun-filled summer? Look no further than the Muscatine County Fair. Get ready for heart-pounding rides, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable memories. From Ferris wheels to tractor pulls and concerts, there's something for everyone. The Muscatine County Fair is where memories are made, laughter is shared, and fun fills the country air. Join us from July 19th through the 23rd and experience the best summer has to offer. Get your Fun Pass and concert tickets now at muscatinecountyfair.com.
From a clogged toilet to a complete sewer line replacement, Rivo is a modern plumbing company designed to respond quickly to all shapes and sizes of plumbing needs. Bringing in our heavy equipment to replace cracked gas lines or designing clever piping systems for new construction plumbing, a family-owned company that's reliably honest and remarkably affordable. Right here in Muscatine, all day long, every day of the week. Rivo Incorporated, skill, knowledge, and tools to solve the messiest problems.
You know Rivo as expert plumbers, but did you know Rivo can also be your one source for complete bathroom and kitchen remodels? With professional craftsmen doing the job for more than 30 years, experienced in tile, carpentry, and of course plumbing, Rivo can transform a dreary basement into an elegant bathroom and upgrade a worn-out kitchen using inspirational design and quality brands. Before you stand in line at a big box store, call Rivo Incorporated and see how a hometown professional can refresh and improve your home.
Welcome back. And this is actually kind of a fun conversation for me because Brenda and I have emailed back and forth for probably a couple of years. I don't know how long. We've never actually met or been in the same place at the same time. So it's kind of cool. So Brenda, if you would, for those that don't know you, kind of give them a quick intro of who you are, what you do. It's pretty, I think most of us have an idea of the job once we hear what it is, but just kind of give them a quick overview.
Sure. So I'm Brenda Arthur-Miller. I am the high school principal in West Liberty. I just finished my 13th year in the district, actually. Before I was high school principal, I was assistant principal with some other job titles. So
Yeah, it seemed like, how long have you been principal now?
I just finished my 6th year.
Yeah, because I feel like when we first started, when we were with the other place, And we started, like, I remember, like, you like, all changed, and it seemed like you still did all the same stuff, you just got a different title. Because it seemed like everything flowed through you almost anyway. So.
It does feel that way, yeah. So we have a dual language program. I'm still the director of that. So yeah, it does kind of feel that way.
So West Liberty has some really cool things going on. And like one of the ones we had, I just had it.
Marie?
Yes,
Yeah.
who is just an amazing young woman. Holy cow, I can't wait to see what she does because she's sharp. There's
yeah.
no question. So you guys had 3 big things kind of come through. We're gonna start with the one I know something about, which
Okay.
is your IJAG award. So IJAG, I assume it's a pretty similar program to what we do here in Muscatine, right?
Yes.
So if you could, just again, kind of tell everybody a little bit about what IJAG is, who it serves, because this is a really great program that I love. Again, it's repeatable across districts. So what all does yours sort of entail?
Sure. So IJAG stands for Iowa Jobs for America's Graduates. We actually just finished our 2nd year with IJAG, so it's a pretty new program for us. We have an 11-12 program, so we serve 11th and 12th graders. We have 1 teacher, phenomenal teacher. Her name's Meredith Shantz, so a little shout out to her. She's a great teacher. And the purpose of it is to help those students who maybe aren't on track to graduate, to help them not just get on track to graduate, but figure out what they want to do after high school and sort of give them that foot in the door, if you will, on whatever path they want to go. And so this year, our program was recognized for meeting and excelling at their 6 criteria that the state monitors, and that includes graduation rate, positive student outcomes, employment, among other things. So just pretty phenomenal work in 2 short years.
Yeah, now, so obviously, I don't know your program all, but I know John McConnell out at the high school here. Well, and, you know, we've talked to the Muscatine IJAG kids several times on the show, and I would assume your kids are as sharp as these kids. And what I always enjoy about it is they're picking up all the things, like, you know, all those things that us old people say, like, oh, they wish they'd teach this in school, like they, you know, like those, like actual life skills and like how to actually manage and get through and get to the next thing. That's a lot of what the IJAG program is. Like there was one where they did like a budgeting function, like how much do you have to earn to live the way you want to live? How do you apply for jobs? You know, like, and then it was funny as we were talking about that, we created a new jobs board on Discover Muscatine. And like they were some of the first ones to test it out for us, you know, so it was like this nice little practice. So what, in your program, what are some of the things that have like stood out for you as like the big wins as far as either what the program is going to be able to do or maybe an outcome you've seen? What are some of the big ones that you can think of?
In general, I really like the individual connections that our teacher makes with students and helping them determine their path. You know, so often it's you're going to college, or that's sort of the general outcome,
right,
where she's working specifically with kiddos on where do you want to go, what do you want to do you want to do college, but also then a lot of things I've seen in classes with building those soft skills. So many kids now have their own room at home, and then if they do go to college, now they have a roommate. Do you know how to live with someone else? Do you know what that looks like? Do you know how to share space? Do you know,
Yeah.
So just doing some activities that really help students develop some of those soft skills that I think are just vital, is you don't just get to go get an apartment by yourself necessarily, no matter what you do after high school.
Right. And it's that tough period, and you know, if you're my age-ish, you've been through it. It's that weird transition from whenever you finish your education process, whether it's high school, college, trades, whatever it is, there's that transition into the real world that like it can either go super smoothly if you plan really well or get lucky, or it can be this like little bumpy, oh crap, I didn't know I had to do that. How do I get the, you know, gas turned on in the new apartment? And like all the things that you're just now all of a sudden responsible for out on your own. And I know that that's one of the functions. So you call them soft skills, and it's sort of it's a little bit of a misnomer sometimes, I think, because they're skills that they're not like data management, or they're not like welding or whatever it is, but they're every bit as critical to making sure you succeed once you get done with school. So that's IJAG. So congratulations on that. That's I assume, how does the program look for growth? Like how many students, like what's next for IJAG? Do you know?
So as I said, we just finished our second year, so we're going to stick with this 11-12 program. There is a 9-10 program and even a 7-8 program. We're not quite ready to add those yet. So just really looking at our data and determining how well is it working and do we want to add next layer. But
Sounds prudent.
so far, yeah.
So the next one that I want to talk about it kind of steers more towards the counselors. And so it's a national award, and this one, I'll be honest, I don't know as much about the exact award, like the Power of Hope award. So if you could tell us a little bit about that, and then like what that looks like on a daily basis, like what being successful enough to win the Power of Hope award, like what that looks like in a day at the school.
Sure. So this one is a huge award. As you said, it's a national award. There were only 2 schools or 2 school districts awarded in the entire United States. So Little West Liberty, Iowa, Little West, so that was pretty.
It's huge.
Yeah. And so it's from the National Post-Secondary Strategy Institute, or NPSI is what they call themselves. And so it's really based on empowering counselors to create that college post-secondary climate in your high school. And so it's based on a lot of data points, such as FAFSA completion and other indicators of post-secondary readiness for students. And so we have 2 counselors at the high school who just do a phenomenal job working with our seniors and juniors and the entire high school body.
Give them a shout out. Who is that?
Yes, Andrea Schulteis and Stephanie Paulson. And so they, we have a college-going climate, if you will, but when we talk about college, we define that as any post-secondary training. So is that a registered apprenticeship? Is that a 2-year school? Is that a 4-year school? Is that welding certifications or some other HVAC certifications? So any kind of post-secondary training we consider college, and so that's how we define that. And so they do just an amazing job of connecting with our students, and in particular our seniors as individuals, and helping them determine what they're going to do after high school, whether that's enter the job force, pursue a 4-year degree or beyond, or something in between, and then talk to them about, well, what do you need to be most successful at that? So, you want to go into welding, you want to work at an HNI or West Liberty Foods, what kind of training do you need for that, and how can we help you find it? And so what I really like about what they do is it's an everyday conversation that they're having with all kinds of individual students.
Yeah, and what's neat about this, I made a weird connection on this one time, and I think it's going to apply to this, is it's like, in the old days of school, everybody went through the same programs, everybody went through the same, protocol, like all the way through, right? And what I love about this is it's kind of like this mass customization of education, right? It's like what you see where you can like customize your shoes with Nike or, whatever. You're flexing to meet the needs of what the world is today, where every kid doesn't need the same thing. They need, what's the next best thing for this kid and the next best thing for this kid. And having counselors that know how to do that is a tremendous advantage. So that's huge. So what did you guys just like throw a big party? Like what did you?
So we were invited to Washington, D.C., and so we went to Washington, D.C. that first week in June, and there was a big award ceremony that was broadcast live in the Department of Agriculture building. And then we met with the Undersecretary of the Department of Education, and they asked us questions, you know, basically, what can we do at a national level that would help you at your local level? So that was really...
And what was your answer?
We just had some great answers, and there were other schools there too, but we really talked about just maybe giving more power at the local level versus, without being offensive, telling them there are a lot of hoops that we jump through.
Right. Well,
So-
it's a thing. I mean, it's a catch-22 because I understand the national approach to education, right? Because you want to make sure every kid in the country gets what they need, but then functionally, you got to respond to what's on the ground and what you need locally. So it's kind of a weird dynamic, and I'll be honest, I'm glad I don't have to deal with it because it's way above my pay grade, right? So is this something you guys going to go for like back-to-backs, like try and win it next year and just like dominate, start like go for a three-peat, or?
I don't know that we're eligible to win it more than once, but
that's not fun.
it's not just because we won the award doesn't mean we're going to stop anything we're doing, right?
Oh, I would hope not.
So, and again, that college-going climate that we're trying to build or continue to sustain at West Liberty High School, and just keep it going.
So you had an interesting almost segue there. You guys were in the Department of Agriculture building, which, is that a coincidence? Because you're kind of an ag star, right? Like, we kind of saved this one for last because I kind of had a feeling this one might be the toughest one to talk about, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some fun with this one. So
Okay.
what award did you win?
Well, before that, I want to go back to the Power of Hope Award and
absolutely.
just do one more shout out.
Absolutely.
And that is, I really need to recognize Naomi DeWinter from MCC and Kim Warren from Aligned Impact Muscatine. They are the ones that came up with the idea to, I guess, nominate West Liberty High School, and in particular our counselors, for that that award. So just wanted to say a big thank you to them. We
Absolutely.
definitely
Absolutely. They do a great job. Naomi and Kim, almost anything good educationally, they're going to have their fingers in the community, which is a nice thing. So she did a really good job of deflecting there. We're going to see if she can do it again. So let's try that again.
Okay.
What award did you win?
So I was named the Outstanding Administrator for the state of Iowa by the Iowa Association of Agriculture Educators.
Gotcha. Okay. So now let's break that down.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, ag's a pretty big deal in the state of Iowa, right? I know a lot of good teachers and administrators in the ag world, and so you're like the top tier. So what does that look like? What does the state ag educator of the year, how does that play out in your day? Like, obviously you put some concerted effort into it, right? But like, what are some of the things that that the West Liberty School District does that you help? I don't know exactly what the right you facilitate or whatever. What are some of the big ones that you're probably the most proud of?
So we have two ag educators. We have Elise Bicey and Zach Morris. And so our FFA... I'm sorry. You said Zach Morris. Yes. All I can think about is, I'm sorry.
Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
I apologize, Mr. Moore. I'm sorry. I just had a picture of Zach Morris as an ag teacher, and I'm like, totally took me off. Wow. That's what you get, folks. That's what you get.
Yeah. I know who Zach Morris is from Saved by the Bell.
Right.
My predecessor, when he thinks Morris, he thought Morris the cat, the orange tabby cat for the Friskies commercials.
Friskies, yeah.
And so I really had to bridge that for them. This is why he calls you Morris the cat, and this is who Slater is, and yeah. So.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Wow.
But we have just a great FFA program and ag ed program. Our FFA has been in the top 3 of recognized programs in the state for quite a few years now, and won some national recognition for that. So I think my job as an administrator is really to just support them. I won't say to never say no, because they definitely say no, but
Right.
to support them in what they want to try and in their pursuit to just bring bring ag up to the forefront, raise it to the top, continue to do that, and offer whatever they can to kids, all of our kids, to explore ag, because it's not just farming anymore. Not that it was ever just farming, but that's what it always felt like, especially
Right.
when I was a kid. I grew up on a farm, but helping kids explore how does ag fit into your everyday life, and what do you want to try out in that world, I guess.
Well, you're right. And that's the one thing that's really, I've learned a lot more about the FFA ag world over the last handful of years. And, and I've mentioned this on the show before, last year for, I think it was sectionals that were hosted here. I got to judge districts.
Yes.
Again, everybody needs their own Margaret, because it's like real-time feeding information. And so I got to judge the websites of the kids did a great job, but it's not necessarily what you would think of when you think of FFA, right? Like, yeah, they need a website because they need to keep everybody informed of what's going on. They need to organize everything. But you wouldn't think about, oh, let's use that as a teaching moment rather than just like having somebody through. We're gonna have them build it, judge it. We're gonna apply everything that you think of when you think of like judging cows to websites, and extemporaneous speaking, sales, pretty much everything that has to do with real life, they're doing inside of FFA, just with an ag twist, which is, it continues to amaze me every time I hear like one more thing, like, oh yeah, that's an FFA thing. Because like with the fair coming up, right? We've been working with the fair because we'll be out there all week helping cover stuff, and it never ceases to amaze me what these kids do, and that only happens if they've got a solid base, right? The programs have got to be strong, the people behind them like you have got to be strong, and the success our kids are seeing, I think, is a direct result of that. So congratulations.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
it.
Yes, thank you.
So now, are you gonna go for a back-to-back and three-peat too? Like, is that?
I think one is plenty. So
One's plenty, okay.
Yeah, that's.
So what else is going on up in West Liberty? It's like we see flyovers on a
Yeah.
pretty regular basis.
Flyover Fridays.
Flyover Fridays,
Yes, we have, we're finishing up an addition to our elementary, and so our preschool and kindergarten will be moving over there, closing down the little building, if you will. And then at the high school, we're building an athletic complex, so we'll have a new football field with that's also has a regulation soccer field within that, an 8-lane track, and then new softball and new baseball field, so all moving over to the high school. The hope and plan is to have that ready to go this fall, the football field ready to go this fall, so our kids can play football on it. So.
That is a fun project. I watched the one here that was done, was it about 2 years ago now? Oh man, doing all those at once, you guys are brave. Because just watching them try, just doing the Muscatine Community Stadium was tough. I can't imagine rolling all of that into one. But
yeah, it's. I think it's going to be just phenomenal when it's finished and top tier in the state, if you will.
From what I've seen of like the plans, it looks amazing. Okay, so you've won 3 awards. You're getting all new athletic facilities, new educational facilities for the younger kids. Is there anything else you guys are doing up there that we should know about? Like, I mean, I feel like, that's like ticking every box.
I was gonna say that's a lot in itself, but we just have I think a lot of opportunities for kids, extracurricular, as well as just us really strong academic program. K-12, we have a dual language program. It's actually the oldest dual language program in the state, and we will be celebrating our 25th year starting this year in August.
So for those that don't know how a dual language program works, could you kind of give them the quick, like, here's how it flows and like here's what a day looks like sort of a thing? Because it's really interesting how it works.
Yeah, so it's we offer Spanish and English to families that want to enroll their students in that program. It starts in kindergarten. So essentially the kids spend 50% of their instructional time in English and 50% of their instructional time in Spanish. And we really build our class rosters so we have strong language speakers in both, so they serve as language models for their peers, and that goes all the way through 4th grade, and then in 5th grade, it's a little less than 50% of their instructional day, but then that goes through middle school, and then in high school when they come over, it's really a fast track to advanced placement and college credit. So they start in Spanish 3 when they come over as freshmen, and so they do Spanish 3, 4, and 5 in our dual language program, and then AP Spanish language and culture. And so when they take dual language 5 as juniors, they earn 6 college credits through Muscatine Community College. So again, just building that partnership there. And then they go into advanced placement, Spanish language and culture. And we just received our AP scores, and 100% of our kids earned a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP test this year.
That's an impressive 100% 3, 4, 5. Is not easy. That's like one kid has a bad day, you can get a 2. Like I took a couple AP things, so I have I'm sure they're way harder now than they were then, but just, that one kid has a bad day, even if they're bad days, they still got a 3, which is impressive.
Yes, and we've had quite a few years in a row of actually 100% of the kids earning a 3, 4, or 5, and so then that gets them college credit. We also work with the Department of Ed for what's called the Seal of Biliteracy. So a student that's proficient in both English and Spanish, in our case Spanish, earns what's called the Seal of Biliteracy, and it's a stamp that goes on their transcripts, and colleges recognize that as, hey, this kiddo's coming in fluent in this language, Spanish and English. And so by earning a 3 or better on the AP Spanish exam, and then also being proficient in English with the state measure, the ISASP. So we had, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I think we have 12 kiddos that are earning the Seal of Biliteracy this year.
Wow.
So.
And that's what I love, again, I say that a lot, but holy cow, it's easy when you sit in this chair to just be like, hey, you guys are doing awesome. I like that. You guys are doing awesome. I love that. It's like a plus program. Like it doesn't remove one to teach the other. It uses both, and it maximizes, well, I don't know if it maximizes, but like it engages kids on both sides of their brain. It engages the whole 9 yards. And, every study shows that multiple languages is a positive. And so it just kind of like leans into that, what are they going to need in the future, right?
Right, so these students that scored a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP Spanish language and culture test, that wasn't a year's work, right?
Right.
That started in kindergarten. They're all dual language kiddos. They've been studying Spanish and English in school for 13 years now, so it's definitely...
That's why it's 100%.
Yeah, and it's a shout out to the kindergarten teachers, the elementary teachers, all of them, and the work they do with our students. And, to see a student grow from August to May, yeah, you can witness
Right.
that, but to be able to say, hey, those kiddos earned a 5 on the AP Spanish, and I had them as 2nd graders, I'm a part of that, and I think they can own that.
Absolutely they can. And that's what's cool is like, again, I took AP European history, right? So you had a year, Mr. Smith crammed but we had a book this thick. I still have it, no joke. And Charlemagne, the Great Schism, and he's just like pouring stuff down us, right? And so you get to the test and it's like, okay, everything that we did over the last year, let's spew it all back out, right? And you're writing, you have to like write essays, and like it's not just like multiple choice, at least ours wasn't. But I can only imagine if I would have had 13 years of European history functionally, yeah, you'd be able to go in and like, yeah, this is no big deal. This is a normal Tuesday. Ta-ding, 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 ta-ding. So that's a huge, huge advantage that you guys offer for your kids, which is great. Okay, anything else? I think
I probably used all my time, didn't I?
We don't have time. Time doesn't exist on the Muscatine Today show. If it's good, we do it. But holy cow. So quick recap.
Yes.
you've got IJAG up and rolling. The state says you're doing a great job across the board with that, which helps get kids launched out into the world, basically. You've got counselors winning national awards for being able to get in and really work with kids individually. You're like Ag Rock Star of the Year. You've got new baseball, softball, football, athletic fields coming. You've got the new, was it preschool K?
Yep, and they're moving over to the elementary.
Yep. And then the dual language program that's rocking and rolling.
Yes.
Okay, I think we got it. Man, that's like, we might have to start calling this West Liberty Mondays, because that's a lot. Well, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Keep it up, and I'm sure I'll see a bunch of you guys next week, because we'll be out at the fair. Quick reminder, go to the fair next week.
Yeah.
Enjoy everything out in West Liberty. There's amazing food, at the fair, but also right around there. I know there's a ton of businesses that are sponsoring it. Kelsey and that whole crew does a great job every year, and West Liberty does a great job of hosting it for Muscatine County. So
Yeah.
a little shout out to the whole community and a reminder to go do that. Come see us while we're out running around. But thank you for coming in. It was nice to officially meet you in
Yes.
person.
Yeah,
And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. And so Muscatine, we will see you